God bless these two for speaking the truth. There is way too many people out here running around acting nuttier than squirrel turds. So we got to keep exposing the lies. And most importantly, we need to keep praying that everybody who hasn't yet repents and turns to Jesus before it's too late. Amen. Let's get it poppin'.
If I have to be convinced that I've lost rights as a woman because of Donald Trump, then hear me out. Perhaps I haven't lost any rights. I know, groundbreaking. And the same people who are telling me, yes, Olivia, you have lost rights as a woman, are the same people who told me, don't vote against DEI. DEI is good for women. DEI is what helps women succeed. DEI is anti-woman, it's anti-America, and it's quite literally racist. DEI got me failed in a college course for saying that men don't belong in women's sports, and for saying that men are in fact different than women. DEI also forced me to pay $1,700 for said course in gender studies as a chemistry major. And as someone who was a chemistry major in college, a scholarship I could have applied for was the Women in STEM scholarship, which is, by the way, for women. But those scholarships are being given to men in dresses who identify as women under the guise of social justice and inclusivity to reach DEI quotas. So tell me, how is that helping women? How is that pro-woman? And what rights have I lost? Like, I'm actually waiting. And I know they're all going to say, well, it's the right to abortion, the right to kill a child. I have morals, so that's not something I'm worried about.
Today, I'm not going to talk about fairness, although it's certainly true that allowing men to compete in women's sports is deeply unfair. And I'm not going to talk about safety, although it's certainly true that allowing men into female sports teams and into their bathrooms is incredibly unsafe. I'll let others highlight those important points. I want to talk about something even more important and even more basic. It's the most basic thing of all. It's truth. You must keep men out of women's sports and out of their facilities for the simple reason that they are men. Men are not women. A man who claims he is a woman is still not a woman. So why shouldn't men play in women's sports? Because they aren't women. It isn't true. We should not allow men into women's sports for the same reason we shouldn't go around claiming that 2 + 2 = 7. It's just not true. It is a lie. The man who identifies as a woman is either deluded and confused, or he is a cross-dressing fetishist looking to play out his fantasies in public. In either case, the claim that he's making, the claim to womanhood, is not true. And compelling women to take part in this untruth is evil, perverse, and predatory. If you would use the force of law to compel young girls to use a changing room with a boy, you are yourselves predators. Transgenderism is a lie. It is, in fact, the most deranged lie that mankind has ever invented. In a free country, nobody should ever be forced to participate in a lie. As lawmakers, you have an obligation to the truth. It is a truth that I know you all recognize because every human who has ever lived on earth recognizes it, that men are men and women are women. It is that simple. And the question before you is just as simple. The question is this: will you side with the truth, a truth so basic that every toddler understands it, or will you disgrace yourselves by denying it? That is your choice to make.